What's up, guys? Welcome back to Ran When Parked. I'm going to start us off today with a fun fact, and that is that I hate truck pulls. And I don't mean the type where the guys chain their trucks up to the sled and the sled kind of digs into the dirt and it's like, a 300-foot full pull or whatever. That's kind of cool. I don't have a problem with that. It's the type where the two idiots chain their trucks together bumper to bumper and then floor it in some parking lot somewhere. Those are the ones I hate. Not only because they're stupid and they make you look stupid, also because they don't prove anything. It's really all about traction. So with that said, it's kind of interesting that I find myself in this position today. Let's see how this goes. Before we continue, guys, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button. Both those things help me get YouTube to float this content to a bigger audience, which gets me more subscribers so I can make more videos so I can continue entertaining you guys. So now that you've done that, let's go see if we can drag this Chevy back to the junkyard. All right, guys, so let me give you a little bit of a backstory here. So a few months ago, my buddy Dave, who you guys have seen before on the channel, he had his 84 Cummins powered Chevy out doing something. He was at a party or something, and he ran into a bunch of guys, and they had a brand new Ford. I think it's a Power Stroke, and they wanted to chain these things up and do a pull like right in this dude's driveway. So he agreed, he did it, and they filmed this video. Now, his Chevy, it's 12 valve powered, so it's got some low power. It's got like 456s because it's an original CUCV military truck. It had a diesel in it, so it's ridiculous gears. It's on 37s. It's got, I think, a Yukon locker up front, a cable locker, and like a Detroit in the rear. So this thing's all traction and all low-end torque. So anyone that's kind of in the know and gets the physics could have told you that he was going to drag this Chevy, this Ford that is, like right back to the dealership. And that's exactly what he did. So that video went pretty viral. It was on Instagram. It got like, I think 60 or 70,000 views. It's still kind of floating around out there. So we got to talking about this and we decided that what we should really do is chain our trucks up. And the reason why is that a bunch of people were commenting on that, saying like the hitch angles were different. So he's, picking up on the hitch of the Ford, and that's why. And like, as a side note, guys, like I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm here to tell you that the component that's like lifting up on that hitch, when you got like a 6-inch different gap over like a 10-foot chain, it's negligible. It's barely even there. So that's not an excuse next time you lose a truck pull. But anyway, we decided like our trucks are pretty even. They're both Cummins powered. They're both 5 speeds. They're both on 37s. Let's chain these things up and let's see who wins it, right? So that's how I wound up here today. I'm not a big fan of truck pulls. I think they're kind of stupid. They don't really prove anything except for traction. But nonetheless, we're doing it for you, YouTube. So let's see what happens. All right, so we're getting these things chained up. Tell me about this truck, Dave. It's an 84 CUCV?
Yep, 1984 Chevy. They call it a CUCV or CUCV. Basically a K30 came with a 6.2. But now it's got a 12 valve Cummins in it. 5-speed.
NV4500, right?
Yep, NV4500. NP205 transfer case. 14 bolt. Dana 60 front.
Locked front and rear?
Locked front and rear.
And these are 37s.
37s.
So basically, since my truck is limited slip front and rear, you're going to drag me into the neighbor's yard right now.
I mean, it should. We'll see what happens, but it should.
All right.
I'd be a little upset.
All right. So for anyone not new to the channel, this is the Honeybadger, my 63 Ford. It's on a 95 F350 frame. It's got a 12 valve, kind of built. Not as much as his though. It's got a Kingpin Dana 60 up front. It is limited slip front and rear. It's on 37s. It's got a Ford ZF5 trans. And we're going to chain these things up. So let's see what happens. We're gonna do. All right, so we're about ready to go. These things are about even. Should have even traction, kinda. Not really. He has better traction, but that's okay. I'll let him have it. He needs the advantage.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so I think what we're gonna do is 2-wheel drive I'm going low range. You're going low range.
Oh,
We'll do 2-wheel drive first. We'll see what happens. Then we'll go 4-wheel drive low range and just let him eat and then see what we get.
Let him eat.
Probably 2 broken trucks. So stand by.
Right.
So Dave, what do you think the guys on Instagram are going to say about this?
Well, we're going to start with it was unfair, Ford versus Chevy, you know.
Yep, definitely.
And then they're going to say that I had the advantage. Chevy had the advantage because he's going downhill.
Yep, that's one
and
thing.
The hitch is higher. You
The
know?
hitch is higher. Yep.
And maybe I got less air in my tires. So I don't know.
You probably do. You're a cheater after all. Even though we both got beadlocks, so we both could have been cheating.
No,
we didn't video the whole thing. Could have been a
We
setup.
also didn't show them that the Ford was attached to the tree.
Just like that last video where you dragged that brand new Ford right back to the dealership.
Everyone thought it was in 2-wheel drive.
That was a total setup, guys. It was just total BS.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this to prove it.
There we go. Scientific. All right, guys, so 2-wheel drive, worthless. We both just sat there and dug, even though he's locked and I'm not. I'm gonna call that a win for me, though. How do you feel about that? I think that's a win for me.
I mean, that's a tie. That's a tie.
1-legger, 2-legger, I win. 4-wheel drive.
Do I get extra points for digging bigger holes?
No, well, maybe. I'll call it a draw on the 2-wheel drive, because you dug much bigger holes and you dug 2 of them. Mine were shallower, and there's only 1.
You're on rock, bro.
That's true. I set this up so I had the better traction before you got here.
Yeah.
That's all that is. All right, guys, so oddly enough, 4-wheel drive still went nowhere, which I'm surprised about. I thought he would really win that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move to a fresh spot, and we're just gonna give them both all they got, and either someone's gonna win, or we're gonna break both these trucks. I don't know, but that's what we're doing.
Just wouldn't go.
All right, guys, so even if we give it all we got, these trucks just won't pull each other, which I guess isn't much of a surprise. Same motor, essentially the same trans, 5-speed trans. They have really different gears. So his has 486s? No.
456.
456s. Mine has 355s, but my transfer case, I think it's a Borg Warner 1356 case, is geared way lower than his. So actually our first gear on the 37s, we both have 37s, is like the same. So
Until I get that doubler.
Until you double up cases, yeah. That's what you need. See, you would have dragged me.
Magnum box.
I'll tell you what, next time if you win, we'll hook you up to the backhoe, all right?
Deal.
All right. So I guess that's it, guys. The good thing is neither one broke. So both Dave and I know how to build trucks. So that's a positive. But all in all, I still got to say, I think this is a win for the honeybadger. It's not locked. His is locked.
Listen, we could go
That's
to
all
your
there is
brand
to
new
it.
paved driveway right now, bro.
maybe we'll put him on the paved driveway. All right, guys, so it's a couple days later now. My truck is still sitting in the backyard right where I parked it after we were done chaining him up. And I've been editing the video this morning, and I've realized a couple things. One is that we would both like to do this again on dry pavement, just because you don't dig in and you have a real good shot at actually getting a winner, but it's a lot harder on the truck. Now, I realized when I was editing the video that the rear axle on the honeybadger was like moving around a lot, like multiple inches forward and backward on the truck. So go back, rewind and watch that again and you'll see what I mean. So I'm not doing it on dry pavement until I put like a traction bar in this or something, just to keep that axle wrap to a minimum, but I will do it. And the second thing I realized when I was watching the video is that last time when we hooked him up, Dave definitely won. He dragged the honeybadger down in his direction, and what happened was we both fell into the trenches that we had already dug, and that's why it stopped moving. But without the trenches, I really think he would have just taken this thing into the neighbor's yard. So Dave wins, which isn't surprising because he's locked front and rear and has better traction. So we kind of saw that coming, but this is what it is. Now we know. We'll see what happens on dry pavement. Maybe I'll come back locked front and rear, and I'll actually give him a run for his money. Who knows? I've wanted to do that, but that's about it for today's video. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. That helps me out a lot, get this floated to a bigger audience, and I'll see you guys next time on Ran When Parked.